Here we go. It is Sunday, August 10th, 2 p.m., and it's today's Sunday Synth Chat. And today, my very special guest, the Data Bomb.
Uh-oh.
Welcome, Dre.
Hello. How's it going?
Fine, thank you. We gave ourselves a challenge this week based on something we both mutually love. And we realized that both of us have this weird thing about this time new gear, which is quite cool to have something about new gear.
Yeah,
and
it's like jump ahead.
Yeah, and in some cases, what's fabulous about the SONICWARE line, and there are so many choices of these interesting boxes: ambient, drums, mega synthesis, texture lab, lo-fi 12. Bass and beats, XFM, 8-bit warps, and the list goes on and on. And one of the greatest things about them is that they are super affordable. You'll see that they're
Super affordable.
about $239 for most of them. And we'll be going through a number of these boxes today and making songs that are entirely created by the boxes. We didn't want to use any outside influences or whatever, and it was a total gas, I will say.
Yeah. We really dug into those and got quite a lot out of them.
I will say too. And what the greatest thing is now, after jamming on them and playing, especially over the course of, I went for 3 days. You came over for 2 days, and we composed together 6 songs. Well, actually, what's cool is that there's 2 of my songs, 2 of your songs. We both touch maybe a little dibble dabble on those.
Yeah.
Then we did two songs, pretty much collaborative on another level.
And how crazy! This is the first time I had you produce some of my stuff.
Yes,
So that's like a first too.
How did you like it? Was I okay?
Yeah, it was good. I like having Kevin as a producer.
I was pretty strict. I was pretty strict with you, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but we got results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you brought up a good thing, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I would dial it in, and then you take it and be like, oh, nope, take it again. And be like, oh, okay. And then I get it, and you'd be like, all right, perfect.
Vocalists have
That was fun.
Vocalists have spread a rumor that's what I'm notorious for. Nope, do it again. But no, it wasn't so much that. It was like, I think you can say that sometimes you can just know when the take is the take.
Yeah,
and
you'll
can
hear
feel it. Yeah, it's like okay. So
there were a couple times where you did one, and I was like, oh no, let me go again. I'm gonna try it again.
I see Scully's here. Benjamin Harrison says this will be my favorite stream, and we're going to give you guys a reason for that. Coming right now, we're going to start the episode, and it's almost an hour. And so have fun with this, because we're going to be all the songs within are going to be up for grabs for your choice for Remix 16.
Remix 16, Sweet 16.
Yeah, and that kind of makes me excited. So let's roll. You guys ready?
Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome to the SONICWARE chat. Yes, in fact, the first intro song was made entirely by Kevin on the SONICWARE Live in 8-bit warps. And we're not sponsored today by SONICWARE, though we would like to be. We've seemingly already invested in all or many of the boxes. But we're going to get into a deep dive on a few of them throughout the course of this show. And so here's a deep dive going on the Live in 8-bit. This is the first synth by SONICWARE from Japan, and it's the Live in 8-bit warps. And I must have had this synth kicking around for a couple years before I even gave it a chance. And now I must say it has something delightful about it, as does the entire SONICWARE series that DRE and I will be going through today. I think we'll be going through a bunch of them and showing you what we can get out of them. But the greatest part about these boxes is they're very affordable. Right now, I think they're like $239. I think out of the 6 or 7 or 8 that they possibly have released, they all have a similar concept, but that they're all sort of unique at the same time. This one, the Sonic Live in 8-bit warps, is kind of geared towards like the video game inspired 8-bit music that was around back in the day, and it's very capable of creating that. This one, however, is a little bit more complicated, being the first one, and as they expand themselves into the future, they are accommodating multi-track sequencers and so on. This one has a form of multi-tracking, but it's much more complicated. So the best way to look at this one is kind of like a groove box, in the sense of like getting a sequence and a pattern going and tracking that and so on, coming back again and again. And that way it's really fun. If you try and make an entire song with full arrangements on this thing, it can be done, because it has a remote speaker, it's battery controllable, and is very capable in the sense that it is a polyphonic synthesizer with an arpeggiator, effects, reverb. It has a sequencer much like you remember seeing on the 808 or the 909. Each number represents a particular note that can be assigned to it. And in this case, it's really cool because it also has a program lock, program record, memory lock sort of thing. So here's the filter. The filter section here is a low pass, high pass, band pass, sort of like an alias noise section added. There is 4 sound generation areas within this synth. Warp, attack, morph, and FM, as controlled by this top line of knobs here. If we go into the memory and choose one of the sounds, I think there's 128 sounds. Very loud. You could add reverb to that. And you can choose, say, the type of reverb that the unit has, like in the case room or tunnel, room, plate, and all sorts of things. So what we see here is we see a memory for all the sounds that are stored in here, and then also a memory for all the patterns that are in here. And a pattern can be up to 128 steps long in this thing. If you are dealing with the length of your sequence, let's take it from 64 down to 16 and work with just the one thing of numbers here. And okay. As you can hear, we already had something wacky going in here, and we can just as easily go clear the pattern, and they're like that, and then we have a blank pattern. But we have a sound up. It's got that crazy reverb on it that we just put on. Let's take that a bit down. The other effects sound something like this. You've got a crusher, tremolo, phaser, chorus or flanger. In this case, what you can do here is really cool. Is you hold the number 1 and say, I want that kick there, 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 and here. There you go. Now, what's really cool on this is that you can parameter lock this if you start off with, in this mode here. So you can build up these rhythms. Very fun to come up with stuff very quickly like that. There is a method that you can go in and the blank spots in the sequencer, you can, there is a way that you can go and say, I'm going to add a different sound in these other parts. Let's go there and let's make sure that that is, it's on FM, same machine as the other one created. So now, slight differences. So now you should be able to add in the blank holes here. So you can build up some pretty wacky stuff. Also pretty stuff too. There's a lot of melodic things within it as well. You can either approach things starting with a melody or something, sequence, arpeggio. The looper function on this, basically, when you go into the looper mode and you arm this first track here, it will now record in audio everything onto this track. All I got to do is press play. It's still playing, even though we stopped. And it's there on that track. So now we should be able to go to a new pattern. And let's hear another pattern here. More of a drum pattern. Actually, it does work, as we're showing there, the looper. So, okay, let's go back to pattern. And you could put on your looper and say, how does this work with that? So it's a pretty unusual way to work, actually, in that sense. And because this way, these are not really editable in the sense that they're audio now, these tracks. And so therefore this box is a little more challenging to make a song on. But if you have a DAW, then basically what you do is just track each track of what's on here, your drums, your sequence, and all the rest of that stuff. And it's got so many goodies. It's really fun to make sounds, as you can see. And you can do it in the park with your batteries and so on. Dre, we did song number 2 using just the one box. And I directed you on how I wanted you to lay down your tracks. And that was essentially your track.
Yeah, quite epic.
Quite epic, yeah. A DRE track, ladies and gentlemen, the second song that you heard today. And today we shall now go through what it was composed on entirely. The entire song, including every single element, was made on this. So here we are, Dre, the Liven synthesis. This is the one you picked up, again, for $239. A complete bargain, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, yeah.
And this one, it has 6 parts in here, so essentially 6 different tracks. 3 of the tracks are like
FM.
Are FM synthesis.
2 of the tracks are PSG.
So these 3 are all like your regular.
Fully editable.
What's track
FM
4?
synth.
Track 4 is a
PSG.
game synth.
Yeah, it's like PSG.
Pretty noisy. You have a release, and then obviously number 5 is for, what's that one?
That's your second PSG.
Second video game sounds. Nice.
Yep.
And then 6 is specific to drums, right?
Oh, no, 6 is your PCM. So not only do you have drums in there, you have PCM sounds.
So you've got 6 tracks, and as you said, so typically the drums can only be on track 6, right?
Yep.
And 5 and 4 is PSGs.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3 is seen as a FM synthesis.
Yeah.
And then you got a reverb, which is adjustable as far what type of reverb it is. And also you've got effects.
Yep. And there's many effects. You can go through the different types there.
Reverb, crush, distortion, compression, low pass frequency, high pass, isolator, remix. What is remix? Sound delay.
Remix is kind of like a looper.
And this is the effects end to the set effects. We chose the reverb there. Sounds great. This would be the mix of the levels between dry and wet. And this is the length of the effect, the time, any parameter.
How much effect you have?
Any parameter you might have. You have an octave? Oh, I guess with drum it doesn't.
Drum, no.
Drum, no.
I like how it will let you know. It's like, no.
Yeah, just like flashing. It's like, nope. You got attack and release. Nice and open there. And it has the same old beautiful programmability. It has a random and a stutter effect as well, which works after you've got a sequence program. All the typical other parameters such as swing, transposition, and it has an arpeggiator, which is accessible if you hit mode. Oh, there you got a different drum mode there we've just discovered. It's poly, mono, legato, or arpeggiator. And very, very flexible. You have the ability here to adjust the up, down, wherever parameter. And so fluid like that, like just right away you're making music, I would say. Go to track 1, and the first thing that you would do is you would say, you could program it by playing along, by just simply setting, say, your metronome on, turning on the volume on this one's got a separate volume. You could go in here and say a function. I want this to be 32 steps, 48, 64, 80, even all the way up to 128. I would say I'm going to go 32 for this, just to have some variation.
A lot of boxes, even of this price, won't give you 128
No.
steps. Like you're usually stuck at 16 if you're lucky.
Dre, I'm going to start dancing. I don't know about you.
Here we go.
Go to track 2. In track 2, the ability here is that you would go, and we're already on a new sound. Oh, that's loud. That's like clowncore or something.
Yeah, that's all. What's out the saxophone?
We're not working with sax today.
Wait, is that coming out of the
Key.
speaker or two?
Let's go through the bank here.
Sound.
We got ethnic.
Yuzo Koshiro?
helped design this unit and the
Big
sound
up.
inside of it.
Big up to you, Zo. Big up to you, Zo. So let's just stop here and say we didn't like that. Because clear by holding the dots that you've just recorded on there. Anyways, there's no shortage of sounds. How many sounds do we have in here?
Quite a few.
Let's just say you love that sound. You love it. And this is the one you want to work with. And you want to say, this one, I want a length. I want to do 32 steps on that one again. And play along with my other excellent sequence. I'm going to turn down the level of this one. Just for monitoring. So again, hold the clear button, and it's gone. Let's just go straight to the drums. The drums are track 6 here.
Oh, no.
So basically, you know. So we got the drums here. So typically how drums work is that you could say I want the kick on 1, 5, 9, and 13. And then when you hit play, let's go to the let's mute the drums. All of them mutable by holding the thing, right?
Yeah. Great.
So you can hear that we have the arpeggio on that track. It's kind of cool that you can have an arpeggiator just on that track. So, if you want to affect the sound, we got a thing called Program Lock Record. Put that into there. Release the sound and prepare to adjust the sound. Way more usable, right? It's weird how some of the boxes have just minute differences. So it has sampling, it says in this too.
Yep.
So where does it sample? Does it sample into it?
You can run the line in right
Run
there.
the line in.
Yep.
And then where does it sample to though? Sample.
It will go to a bank you have in there of your own.
A separate bank.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the PCM bank.
Yeah, it'll go into a PCM bank.
So as you can see here, it's just like for $200, this is a music factory. Much like the other ones that we've shown you. I've already shown you the Live in 8-bits, which is more primitive than this one. This one is a step up with the 6 separate tracks. And in some ways, it's weird. The other one has a dedicated filter and a dedicated reverb as well as a multi-effects, but this only has a multi-effects and no dedicated filter. So how this works is turn on stutter. But I think we've covered almost all of it except just that it has multiple patterns, banks and banks of patterns. And this is the Mega Synthesis.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Here's another beautiful box by SONICWARES called Texture Lab. Live in Texture Lab. And yet another box. And this one, what makes it unique is that this one is a sampler. And really that is all it really is. There is no internal synthesis. So it comes loaded with a bunch of, as they say, epic and all sorts of samples and so really creative as far as like sample rate, position, and length, as far as coming up with all that beautiful glitchy stuff. It has an effect that also is like a reverb that adds a bit of what they call shimmer. You can hear that shimmer just shimmering on there. Beautiful, eh, Dre?
Yeah. You wouldn't expect such a large sound to come out of such a box.
Choice of filter, low pass, band pass, all sorts of things. You've got the types of reverb, arena, plate, tunnel, infinite, like we just heard, hall, and it has a sort of a grain texturizer, I'm going to say.
Well, it's a granular sample.
So you can get into freezing areas of the grain, and yeah, as Dre said, a granular sampler. It's you know, a lot of this company seems to really focus on granular synthesis, wave, table, and granular, and that's what makes it cool. It has a hold feature, much like the other one. Only one track though. Get some really what you might want to call avant-garde sounds on here. Wouldn't you say, Dre?
Yeah, it can go from like kind of normal to like extremely weird, very very quickly.
Has a bunch of as I said, internal sounds, and then Dre has already sampled a whole bunch of stuff.
A couple things that you might remember if you're familiar with any of our DJ sets.
Right. Sounds like there's somebody talking.
She said, put down the gun if you don't want to lose. She said, put down the gun if you don't want to lose. She said, put down the gun.
Sample like the way a typical sampler works, which is really cool. That's the infinite reverb. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. The pattern recording works the exact same way. If you wanted to record the parameters, parameter locking, you would just go like this. So pretty cool, and as again, yeah, that reverb is going to go on forever. This lets you show how easy it is to make a sample.
All right.
So we hold function, go into sampling, and then you got a source over there. You're going to send something in.
Yeah.
Okay, Dre's found a sound that we're going to sample, and Dre, what we've done is we've armed it by hitting function and sampling, and now we hit the sampling key, and it's waiting for it right now. Give us a sound. Okay, and there it is. Let's save it somewhere. I believe we okay.
Do you want to say like that?
And then let's put this in an empty slot here, which will be I think 31.
31. Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, easy like that. And there it stored it.
Yeah.
She said,
It's gone back to our old one.
Yeah.
So let's go choose 31.
Yeah.
There's our nice, beautiful, horrendous sample.
It's,
Now controllable
space skills.
with the filter and some effects on it. And then again, the position and length. It's kind of cool
So
how
you
you, how
use
you
that
can
to
make a
do it.
bass sound out of something so ridiculous as...
You got a creepy like sound out of that right away.
So yeah, in sequencing that you could you hit clear. I believe in this one you can clear the pattern and don't hit all
Yeah, don't
because
know.
you'll clear your sound too. Clear the note, and then we're sitting here with a blank sequence. Let's turn that metronome up. And there's our sound. If we wanted to parameter lock at this, play that back or not. So that's essentially how you record the movements on there, and yeah, making it a really fun box again. Wouldn't you agree, Dre?
Yeah, with some clever use of the parameter locks and turning it off and on, you can really make a sequence quite expressive as well.
And we kind of found that this one is like, I like how like some of them are just completely unconventional. I found this one more so unconventional than some of the other ones. Wouldn't you say?
It definitely was a head scratcher. When you lent me this one, it took me a few days to actually dig into it and see what it could do. Because before I was just kind of triggering little sample bits and not really getting into how the grains work. And then once you start parameter locking that, and
It's like, oh, I see the word brap there. It's kind of a cool sound, and that was something you sampled in, I think.
yeah, I sampled that from the brat from the YouTube.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a previous Subcon jam.
yeah. You can hear how you can just make a total nightmare landscape.
Real easy too.
You didn't even know. You didn't even know what that song. You kinda
Let's
hear it in there.
bring back the world of experimental.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's also good for textures, as they say, like
Ooh, that, yeah. That gives
so
me,
it will let you
vibes.
sample over these internal sounds.
Yeah. You only have 32.
Only 32 sounds, and there's 6 seconds of sampling per sample. And only one track. Okay, so we've now hooked up a different box here on the input. Here we're going to demonstrate what effects mode does. Essentially takes the input of Dre's, in this case the COI drums, and allows you to affect it with the granular synthesis as well as the internal effects. So put this on, and Dre, what you got there? There's the initial sample, and then we get into the blend mode of, you can see it's just glitching it out. Oh, listen to that. So, there's the draw. Here's what we're doing to it. We wanted to add a little bit of reverb.
I'm not sure. Try these knobs too. They might do something as well.
That wraps up the effects mode input for the texture lab, and basically the texture lab, yet another box that is $235, and yeah, a lot of fun.
I say if you get it, don't get frustrated with it. Dig in, just like let it come to you. It's not like you're immediate. You're not gonna get the results you probably would think you will get
It's-
immediately.
It's just like the others. You gotta study all of them in their own little way
Yeah.
to get what you want out of them all, and they're fun as heck. So once you get into one, you'll quickly probably find that you can get into the others, and that's how it kind of works.
And you will guaranteedly want more.
Yep.
You'll want more of them.
Here we go. Here's another of the newest boxes by SONICWARE called Evoke. And this is another unique one in the sense that kind of geared towards ambient music, or not so much drum or bass oriented stuff. I don't believe there's a single drum sound in here. They call it an acoustic flux oscillator. And basically there is 4 tracks on this one, which are kind of cool. And there's also a really cool chord mode and a hold mode on this, which is designed to take a note and be able to hold it. Hit clear and OK where it says hold there, and it's gone. You can hold sounds across all 4 tracks. And what's cool is that these 4 tracks are all unique in the sense of they have their own sequences on each track. So all that information and all the sound information basically stays the same. The only thing that's shared is the reverb and basically the grain effects. The grain effects on here are pretty deep. So it's, I guess, in the sense of granular synthesis. Let's add some granular effects and then you'll see what I'm talking about. What's really cool is that when you get into choosing how you're going to, what granular effects you like, there's this thing called a grain patch, and then gives you the chance to And some very interesting sides. You get all 16 sort of grain choices here. And then once you choose one you like, you hit OK. It says done. It's basically also adjustable by the sense of holding function and going into the grain, that you can adjust the feedback amount. The range of the pitch. Random spray. Filter, assignment to filter, the frequency of the filter of the granular effects. And how much is going to be sent to the reverb. The reverb amount. Sequencing on it is very similar, well, exactly the same as to all the rest. If I wanted, say, this note here on the 4th step. Let me just mute these other tracks, and we'll just listen to this one. Wanted to say this note here. And so on. The same as the metronome setting is obviously here, metronome on and off. I think like what's really cool about this thing as well is the chord mode. Chord mode has like you get a string sound here. If we in fact are in the mode here, you can see you can adjust the mode from poly, mono, legato, and arpeggio. We'll stick in poly still. And we'll go take a look at the chord mode. And what's really cool is you can see down here style. So let's get into the style of the chord mode. Diatonic. I'm not going to go into translating all of the words up here because it gets, as you can see, kind of complicated. But I believe this is a minor scale chord. Beautiful. And go back into the style setting here again, and you can adjust the amount of reverb that is going to, the sound is either going through the grain effects as we hear, or also going to the reverb. So send to the grain effects. And this is the send to the reverb. What's really odd is that there's also a arpeggio within the chord setting. So if we'd chosen the ambient 3 setting, let's choose a different one. Let's choose one of these. Beautiful on its own, but you can in fact hear, you see there, all these modes here. This is like the most advanced arpeggio mode I've ever seen. All various ways that it is moving within the chord that we have chosen, which is a minor third. This also tells you the order that how an arpeggio will play the notes, or the order in which the notes are played, but unlimited. And we haven't even turned on the actual arpeggio of the synth. This is just the arpeggio of the chord. And what's really cool is that on each track, it has its own setting there, so you don't have to worry. You go back to your track and you've got your beautiful sound on track 2. Let's on track 4. This one is also in a chord mode. You can see how we go to track 4. It's on a different chord mode. Beautiful. Again, to record it. Looks like on this, you can see each track changes the sequence settings. So this sequence is totally separate. I could just clear these 2 notes here, and let's mute the other tracks here. Seem to be all muted. Unmute this guy. So we like that. You can see how it just held that note for the duration of those steps there. Didn't miss the last one. Yes, indeed, on this one, it seems as though there is no parameter locking because you've got the extra chord world plus the hold world and so on. Okay, it seems that it is parameter recording a move that's done on the bass without hitting a parameter locking key. So in this one, it assumes that if you hit record and make a movement on your filter, that it's going to record that movement. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, confirmed there. Very, very nice. Yeah, the evoke. I would say it certainly evokes beauty, and for $239, fantastic little synth. Anyways, there is 16 styles of chords with various voicings within the chord thing, 16 different styles. There's 11 ways of playing the chords in the sense of what pattern they run through the chords, which is the dominant one. There is 12 patterns of arpeggiation within the chord structure. There's 11 arpeggiation speeds. There's probability and swing that can be added to a arpeggio. And how you do that is you've got a button here called the dice. Going through it, the probability is now to 25% that it will sound a note on the regular note, as opposed to 100%. So, very cool for making patterns that are not just a repeating pattern like everybody hates. And legato, what's legato? Legato is when you can do kind of like a sweep. So you can go to the adjust, it would be setting of 0, and then very small amount will give you a bit of rise. if you really want the maximum let's go for it rave sound, this would be like all the way up to 127. And there you have it, your instant rave in a box. But yeah, they're all great.
Hello, this is song number 2 that I have done with the side drums and the sample track. And then Kevin joined in with a nice little part on the texture lab over here. We hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm about ready to go out and grab another one. I was looking at the ambient, and if anybody else out there has a box that they're raving about, I know we showed at least 5 in the chat. So the Mega, the CY, the Evoke, the Live and 8-bit Warps, and Texture Lab. Okay, I realize that's missing your segment. Gotta unmute yourself. I realized that was missing your one part. So
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe there'll have to be a part 2.
no, it's here. I have it. We'll just play it. It was supposed to come right after Dre's song, but for some reason it was not contained. But that's easy to do. How's everybody liking the songs? That's the important thing, I think.
Yeah, what's everyone gonna pick?
What's everyone gonna pick then?
One of the cool other
Which one would you pick right now? If you just watching that, which box? I mean, honestly, the bombastic sound in that last piece, I couldn't believe when I was playing it. It was almost like the cheapest Marshall amp guitar sound I think I've ever heard.
It was earth-shattering, especially that weird glitchy sound when it came in. It was just like, "Wah!"
I think, yeah, Evoke and Texture both have super unique ambient elements. It makes me want to chew on the Ambient Zero, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
But hey, let's take a look at your segment
All right, let me.
on CY Drums. CY Drums is well, we talk about it in here, so
You'll see.
you'll see. It's like it's a CY Drums Dre hosted episode. Ladies and gentlemen, take it away.
I know it'll be dorky.
Cool
Here we go.
other boxes that SONICWARE makes. The CY Drums is a different size format, and Dre has been raving about it for quite some time for making his drum sounds and stuff on it. And he's here today to show us what he loves about it. Take it away, Dre.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Honored to be here. SONICWARE side drums. Well, what do I love about it? I like that it's small and it has big sounds. It is a wavetable synth drum machine. You have 8 independent tracks for making your sounds. Each of the sequencer links are independent, so you can have them go up to 128 if you want. It has shared effects like reverb, delay, compressor, flanger, your basic effects there. And you have a standard initialized kit here that I will dig into, show you how it do it. Got our kick here. So what I like to do here is I go into the configuration and then I press this button here to go into the groove. You will notice that the quantize is at 0. That means if I was to start recording, everything would be sloppy, as I typed it in.
If you were playing it by finger.
Yeah.
You can also program it on the 16 steps, though, can't you?
Yep. You can use these as your steps as
But
well.
you like to program it in by finger.
So here we'll go here. We'll start off with a little kick. As you can hear, it quantized that all nice and tight. Let's go over here. Let's add a clap, but we're going to add the clap using the step. Here we go. Notice I didn't change the quantize because it's locked to the groove here. So next, to demonstrate the grooviness, let's go to the hi-hats. Let's add the hi-hats, unquantized. Now you can hear that's a bit loose. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start bringing up the quantized percentage, which is also another unusual thing to this drum machine. I've yet to deal with a drum machine that does quantize percentages. So now
Talking about how to add a humanization feel.
Yep. So what you hear now is I'm tightening it up, but I'm not giving it 100%. I'm giving it 95%, so it has a little loose groove in there. And go back in here. I can actually just loosen up just a little more for that human feel. Now what can we do here? We can go to our snares. I'm gonna actually make.
How do you change the kick sound? Show us how to change the kick sound.
or the sound here and check out our patches. As you see, we have no patches, so we can press the A button, and this is going to take us to our kick drums right here. As I said before, very, very big. Yeah, we like that there. So we're going to do the same for the snare. So here we go. We're going to add a snare.
Okay, so what is it that makes it that you like about it so much?
One thing I really like is the expressiveness.
What about how you make a sound on one?
Sound?
How do you make a sound on it?
Okay, well we'll pick a go to here, go to your oscillator. Here's where you can go through the different wavetables. Yeah, kind of like that. So you can use that here. You can also go to sound and use a wavetable sample on top of that. So we'll add tom there too. I'll change the shape of that. As you see there, you can radically change your sound just by changing the type of wavetable you're using.
Okay. So you can do that with all eight channels. Is there any difference between the 8 channels, like as far as the synthesis?
Yeah, some of the channels won't do certain types of synthesis, like your won't do the kick drums and the snares and stuff. Kind of like the electron.
Where does
boxes.
it point out which ones are which?
Right here, down here.
Okay,
you can
so
see.
the hi-hats are a different engine, you
Yep.
might want to speak?
Yep.
Looks like you got an FX engine number 5.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
This one is like your effects and synth sounds, basically.
Synth
Synthesizer
sound.
sounds.
Okay, so
yeah.
there is technically a bit of a synth in here.
Yeah. It's more than just a drum machine. You also have synthesizer sounds.
Also created by Wavetable Synthesis.
Yes, that is correct.
And
So
there's a bunch of internal sounds that it comes packed with.
you also have a chromatic mode by pressing pitch. So now the sound I picked, you can play it.
Here we go.
We would go ooh,
Clear.
clear. Press that.
And just your
Now,
notes.
what you don't want to do is say you like the sound, but you want to keep it.
You just want to get it to note only.
You want to come over here and
Note.
go note, and then I'm going to go back into pad, so I have chromatic.
So you got a groove page, you got a sequence page there, is that?
Yeah.
And what else? The sound creation page.
Okay, you got your oscillator, and depending on what wavetable you're using, you can have up to 2 different wavetables stacked here.
On each sound.
Yep.
Okay. And then you can blend between the 2.
Yep. And then you also
Alright.
have this here. You can see the structure of your sounds
Oh,
here.
you can change the
Yeah.
routing. Is this possibly why this unit is a little more expensive than the other ones? It's like comes in around what, $400?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
got
a
a little deeper architecture.
It is a bit more advanced. You actually have
Yeah.
full-sized audio, which is awesome. You also have a
SD card.
SD card slot
for your
here
sound storage.
for storing your
Right.
your sounds that you create and your sequences and your projects. You can also go here into projects. Hold this down. Go into projects. You can see you can hold up to 128 projects. See that?
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
storage-wise, you got quite a bit of space here.
Hang on a sec, please. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about it?
Yeah, the CY is very deep. It's a very deep machine. I would say if you get one, just buckle down with it. Well, there's a lot more that we could go over in such a short amount of time with any of the boxes. You know what I mean?
with any sample.
They're so deep.
SONICWARE boxes. And we also have the sample truck here today. We're not going to go into it because we realize that this
This
subsum's going
would
way too
go
long.
on forever if we got into everything. If any of these appeal to you, rush out and get them now before tariffs or anything bad affects the price.
Absolutely. Tariffs, what are they?
Hello, this is song number 2 that I have done with the side drums and the sample track. And then Kevin joined in with a nice little part on the texture lab over here. We hope you enjoy.
Yeah, we already saw that part. And that led to the song. Was there a name for that second song, Dre? That was kind of, it almost seems like, well, 1 cent left. I immediately thought of you. I thought if anybody could ever pull out a good rhyme on a song, there's your chance right there.
Yeah, bust your verses.
Bust your verses.
You got a minute and what?
I immediately
4 seconds?
thought, okay. But actually, yeah, so 6 songs to choose from for the remix this time. Nice variation and texturally different. And with the remixes the way they go, anything goes. So I always am so anxious to see like what comes of what people do.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what people do with the sounds and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. It's always super cool. I'm always blown away. Like every time. Just insane.
So we should probably thank you, Endo, from SONICWARE Inc., founder, CEO, PhD in engineering, for creating a bunch of fun toys and then thus making them so affordable. I know that he is from a subsection of Ikebukuro near Tokyo, and we love that area. And hopefully, yeah, this could constitute a visit to the factory, even though I heard that all the units are made in Malaysia. And that seems to be a good idea if you're working with technology. But, you know, the fact to be able to release a lot of these instruments for such affordability is amazing. Yeah, that maybe they will like to sponsor all the little ditties in between. There was a couple there, Dre, the one on the mega synthesis that I was jamming on and just casually just when I listen to that now, I want to track that idea. So don't erase that pattern.
Okay, hopefully it's not gone. Oh yeah, I'll check it.
You probably have written over it because we put it in unique banks.
Yep.
But check it and make sure. Yeah. But no, yeah, I'm kind of amazed. Like I don't have the Mega, and that synth was created, as you said, with the collaboration of between what was the fellow famous which works which video games?
Streets of Rage. He did.
Right.
It's like he composes for Sega. Did a lot of Sega Genesis stuff.
Mr. Yuzo
Koshiro.
Yeah. I guess he's renowned composer for The Wise, The Streets of Rage, and Etrian Odyssey, and has contributed a sound bank and patterns to the thing. Not that you would possibly need that. These things are so flexible. But, you know, it is a great sort of, it's the same with the 8-bits. Warps is a complete dedication to video game synthesis and the entire sort of beginning of Sega, the Mega Synthesis Sega reproduction of the 16-bit game console. And so it is really cool. Opening
the font too.
Opening this door. Who's yearning in the background? That's hilarious. It's funny that this thing makes a noise. Have you guys heard about the hydrogen water? But in fact,
what does it do?
What it does is it actually does like what Exit just pointed out there. Sure. Listen to that.
Now, is that water you drink?
Yeah, so this hydrogen water. I don't know if you guys are up on the whole hydrogen water thing. if it's a scam or not. I have one of these bottles here that it's just fun to listen to it urinate, as well as it makes fancy colors. It even talks to you and says, "Drink your water, quick."
That's hilarious.
For those of you that don't drink enough water, there's millions of ways to help get you to ingest more water. And I think that's a key element to keeping yourself healthy these days. But
Now I need some water.
yeah. How much water do you drink?
I try to drink a bunch of water, especially at my work where I'm walking all the time. I'm constantly like chugging water.
So I have to admit that my weakness with SONICWARE has Mr. Endo has. I've already given in, and I've already gone ahead and purchased another unit even before today's episode. And you get.
I'm afraid I might have to do the same at some point myself.
And you guess which one?
I'm thinking.
Don't say you know already. You know already. I think I told you.
Yep.
Okay. So
There's 3 that I want.
I think I want three too. Okay. So definitely, I want this ambient.
Yep, that's one.
I shouldn't say want. I would like ambient. I would like this because you owned it and took it away. And I don't know anything about the Lo-Fi XT series.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I
That's
would like
yours.
to have at.
Your range, because it obviously is in the format of the CY, and you can see they're up a bit in price. The ELZ1 Play kind of seems to me to be like a different version of kind of like the urination. Kind of like an OP1, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that one.
Now, it has like apparently 12 different types of synthesis, et cetera, et cetera. Now, how they would get me to go for it is if they said, "This has all the boxes that you like in this box."
Well, did you look at what it does? It has a lot of the same type of synthesis in there.
Yeah, I haven't fully digested it because, of course, I already have 3 of these boxes, and my thought is that I really, I love that you said let's do a special on them, and so we did this.
Yeah, and it was also a challenge to
challenge to write all the stuff just using a box, and
I kind of like that. We gave ourselves 2 days.
Sounds good. Okay, let's just say I picked up one of these 3. Which one do you think it will be? Door number 1, 2, or 3? We're going to wait for one person to make a guess.
Oh, yeah, because I know I can't guess.
Yeah. Which one will it be? I will give my full report on it. Incorrect, not ambient.
Nope.
I think
No,
not the Lo-Fi 12. Believe it or not, I decided to check out the bass and beats. Just because I think it might be interesting to see sort of like what devotion there is to bass and sort of the possibilities, so to speak. Yeah, I want to open that door next.
Yeah,
And
I'm intrigued by that one.
what I like about it is that if you look on here and you try to order it, it says sold out. So that I don't know if that means that the numbers are limited. See that? This is
You can try
no,
you
it's
can try Amazon or Perfect Circuit.
I got it at Perfect Circuit, but as you can see here, it says sold out from Liven. So basically, this is could be one of the ones that you'll be like, one day I didn't pick that one up. But I think for me, the next one is God. I can't even decide. I could go with any of them.
I know which one I want next, but it goes by because the one you lent me, the Texture Lab, and I've got some really cool patches in there.
It's so
Cronenberg-y stuff.
It's so unusually cool. I think it was probably maybe, as I said, the most unusual, but the most hard-edged, hardcore sounds. And we don't need a kickback. We're showing our devotion to people that are making great instruments, and then also Nihongo Hanashimasu. Skoshi dake. I love Japan, as you know, and I think I just want to support this because of the theory of it all. So if they come looking for us and want to help out with our fun, then yeah.
So be it. I would love to do another video, dig into more of their stuff.
It'd be really fun to do a second video with the ones we don't have.
And the ones that we do have, because we still have two that we could talk about too.
Well, you have the sampler one, and which is the other one?
Yeah.
Which is the other one? What is that? That
The
is the
sample track.
okay.
Sample
That's
track,
one.
and then whatever one you get.
Oh well. Oh yeah, of course. There, that one.
The bass.
Look at this here. Okay, it looks to me like is it 4 tracks? It is. Drum, add Atmos, and noise. Okay.
That one and the Evoke looks like you could take those two and sit in the snow and just make endless soundtracks.
Not that I would do that. You know, I just wouldn't do that. That's for sure.
Not sit in the snow, literally, but you know what I mean. Be somewhere where there's snow around and just kind of compose with those two.
Can we ask any of the people on the chat today? Did you in fact go and take a look at the site and ponder the idea of purchasing one? And if you did, maybe we can keep track of what people got and how they feel about it, and then have them give their opinion on things like that. And also, what we should be open to here is any company much like this that wants to send gear our way for us to indulge in. I highly encourage you to do so. I know people send out a lot of stuff for people to get into, and we did this without any pay or support from SONICWARES. So
No, just for the love of the boxes.
Yeah.
And the unique, and once again, I can't understate how for the price you really get your money's worth with these boxes. They're so good.
And it seems as though Lucas, Damien, awesome. I got the mega synthesis. Love it. Hell yeah. I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. Been loving how active you are doing the remixes. And I'll have the remix stems posted within the next short while per each song with BPMs. There'll be stems as usual, 6. And you can do whatever you like. Remember, 1 minute and 10 seconds maximum, 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. Stereo mix. Russ, the Sonicware boxes are so fun. I got an 8-bit warps. It's one of the crunchiest synths out there. I can do way more than just chip tunes. It also has one of the strangest design choices that I've ever seen. There's a filter LFO, but no filter envelope. I get around it by running it through a Mother 32 sometimes. The 8-bit wave sounds really good. Run through a Moog filter. Yeah. And the doorway is just, it's literally just opening when you think about it. There is resampling on the Texture Labs, which just was begging for manipulation of samples to the most ridiculous degree of copying changes in patterns and then having an actual variation between patterns. We didn't really go into the concept of structuring songs with patterns. It's obviously any part of using a drum machine you would typically do. I do not believe there is a song mode that structures patterns together in any particular type of order on the boxes themselves.
I know you can chain patterns together.
You can chain by holding them together, yeah. And that's cool. But no like roll-in song mode.
The side drums has a song mode.
Oh, cool.
So you can get everything set up, and then the sample track, when we get into it, has a very unique mode like that.
We'll be looking for your report on sample track on the next journey. But for now, Chris Willoughby from Australia says, "Hey, looking forward to it. It would be good to see Dre on the synth."
Yeah, thank you.
How did you guys feel about the songs? The second song, and then the song, as we all know. Is just begging for one sentence left rhymes is the second. Let's see. Carl Matthew Progress says, is the SONICWARE Mega Synth the cheapest FM synth in the market, or at least best value one?
Well, we didn't go over. We don't have the XFM, which is also
Right.
another FM synth.
And there you go.
So we haven't gone over that one.
I got a message from Christinky from Sonic Death Rabbit.
Stinky.
Big up to you, Christina, and Xtina. And basically, she says she's also in love with the Sonicware boxes and jamming on them. So I sent her the link to the chat. Hey, if you're out there, love from us here.
Yeah, Martin has the side drums, and I remember I was crushing him about it before I got one. So he kind of got me into it. So
Hit us up if you're also
big up Chris Stinky and Martin.
these, and if you've got any thing to say about any of the other boxes or what you love, etc. I was also thinking on Texture Labs, the parameter locks. You know, when you've got a pattern out, and you think about creating how short you can go and almost granular in the sample. The slight variation of tone twisting on the knob would be so awesome to have demonstrated on each parameter lock. So like with the speed of how things repeat at that stage, it would be really cool way to create rhythms. So yeah, Carl, it's a great deal. I think we'll probably end up having to get them all. Just got the side drum, says Conciliance. And thank you for all of your setup of the, whatchamacallit? Why can't I think of the word? Discord, the Discord channel. Thank you for the whole setup on that. That's really cool. A lot of people have joined in, and there's a lot of communication going on over there. If you guys are interested, I think there's a link in Patreon here on how to join. Concilian says, I just got the side drums not that long ago and use it in everything. Such an inspiring little piece of kit. Seems there's a lot of people, Dre, that are in line with you on the side drums.
Yeah, the side drums, it came out of nowhere. And I was like, I saw the demo of it and I was like, oh, damn it, I don't want another drum machine. And now I want another drum machine.
You know what it really reminds me of? Seriously reminds me of is the machine drum or the mono machine.
See, it kind of reminds me of those two and the RY30 a bit. The Yamaha RY30.
The nature of the synthesis seems more direction towards like the mono machine and the way the mono machine has variable machines in it, and it's also parameter lockable and stuff. This one obviously has more depth, which is insane if you think about.
Yeah, very insane. If they
there's more
I
depth.
think he could put out his own mono machine.
Price, so.
Imagine if he did a mono machine clone.
If I did what?
If he made a mono machine clone, I think he could pull it off.
I think that's what I mean. Some of these it's exactly what it reminds me of is the mono machine because of the structuring of the separate tracks, how you choose a machine for each track. Each machine is somewhat variable on a different type of synthesis in some manner, and it just seems to echo this in the sense that I think when we first saw Electron, we're basically like, wow, you can parameter lock. I mean, it kind of changed the way you looked at drum machines. Now it's just second nature that in this case, of course, you can parameter lock. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Oh, and I see a question there on the side about do you guys ever use batteries and jam out in nature? I do. I use you can't really see it here. I use a standard phone charger.
Oh yeah, you've got all the
battery,
gadgets.
And
showed me that yesterday.
I can rock out wherever.
It's a remote battery, can charge your phone, etc., etc. But he's found it to work by just plugging in the gear. He's got a special cable that goes from the
use these
charger, plugs it in.
Ripcord.
He's
Ripcord
remotely.
These here.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't even know something like that existed, but you are always up on all this stuff.
Oh, because me and portable. I like portable.
Type 59 Music says, I've had the Ambient for almost a year now. It's really the only one I think is worth anything because because it's a juxtaposition of itself. Well, please explain what you mean by that in that sense.
I think it's because the ambient can do more than ambient sounds. I've actually heard songs on it that were like full on techno.
Okay, there you go. Whereas the evoke is not the synth to go to make techno. I mean, you could, but you do your pads and all that stuff there. And yeah. So Dre, I had a gas making this with you.
Yeah, man, that was fun.
But in the end, hope you guys enjoyed it here today on the channel, and thank you all for your support. And
perfect
as I said, look forward to the remix coming up. Please partake if you want to. Usually over 40 people do it, so look forward to your submissions that will be based upon the tracks from today.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what's done.
Thank you, Webb. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Type 59. Thank you, Max Nopic, Tony Lipbird, Exit 99. You know what your challenge is. And by the way, don't feel pressure there. Not pressure. I mean, you don't have to choose that song. You can choose a different one if you want.
Or maybe use elements from all of them.
You know, however, sometimes you surprise us. So we'll leave it up to that world. Tony Lipbird, all the best to you. And all the best to the rest of you guys. I've seen your names now for years, so I feel like it's almost like we all know each other. Electro Spaghetti, Sound Farm, Justin, all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and have a great Sunday.
Have a good Sunday. Thanks for tuning in.